I started with this antique looking frame that I picked up at a garage sale for 50 cents, and it has a barcode on it, so I'm assuming that's not an antique and it's just made to look old. Anyway, I cleaned up the glass, cleaned up the frame, and then I took clear Elmer's glue and put it around the perimeter of the inside of the frame where the glass would sit. Then I replaced the glass and took clear Elmer's glue and went around the perimeter one more time. Now this serves two purposes. It helps to hold the glass in place, plus it helps to prevent any resin leaks. Next, I took these vases that I've picked up at garage sales and thrift stores. Before I used to pass them by all the time, but now I've realized that they will make wonderful Christmas trees because the glass is green all the way through, the diameter is small, and it's very thick glass so that when you nip it, the way I am, it will stand up on its own. So thicker glass is easier to get it to stand up than thinner glass, just so you know. So anyway, I just take the nipper tool and I go all the way around the perimeter. And there is one area that's really narrow and it's hard to kind of nip, but once you get past that, it goes pretty smoothly. And if some of the chunks are too big, you can go ahead and thin them out, and you can see how those all stand up by themselves. And I went ahead and I ended up nipping two of these vases. And I always worry about this glass being so sharp and people cutting themselves on it, and some of these I'm going to be making for gifts. So I decided I would try to tumble it for just overnight, anywhere from 6 to 12 hours, and it came out beautiful. So it still looks like the broken glass, but it is not like sea glass. You know how if you tumble sea glass for like a week, it gets real foggy and the edges are real smoothed out and rounded, and I really didn't want that because I wanted them to be able to stand up. And this is only after 11 hours, and they're not sharp at all. The points aren't sharp, the edges aren't sharp, you can run your finger along it. It worked out perfect. So next I started assembling the tree, and what I did was I looked for the largest pieces, the longest pieces first, and I just set them side by side. And I kind of leave the ones at the bottom a little further apart, and as I go up the tree, I look for smaller pieces and move them closer and closer together. And you'll see me move the bottom apart a little bit in a few minutes and kind of try to straighten it out. I'm not the best at centering things, but anyway, and sometimes you'll see me, I'll actually count how many I have on each side to try to keep it even. And then I've turned the camera this way so that you could see what it looks like better. So you get the preliminary layout, and then after that you start filling in. And you can take a few more long pieces and put them to fill in that center part there. And you can also take some small pieces and put it on top. So the mistake that I made was when you're nipping them up and you're going to, now you can do this where it's been tumbled, or you can just do it with the broken glass. But if you choose to do it tumbled, it's in your best interest to cut up a couple of odd smaller pieces and throw those in the tumbler too, because what I ended up doing here was I ended up having to nip a few more pieces to make them smaller to do the fill-in work. And then that defeats the purpose of tumbling them, because then once you nip them again, you're making some of the edges sharp. So it's in your best interest to, once you've nipped a bunch of long ones for your Christmas tree, to go ahead and nip some smaller ones to do the filling in wherever you need to fill in the empty spaces. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just straightening it out and adding some last minute pieces, and then I have a little piece of a bracelet that I had picked up at a garage sale. Besides glass, the other thing that I look for at garage sales are jewelry and frames. And so this is a little piece of a necklace that I used for the tree trunk, and then I used a little angel to put as a tree topper, and this is all ready for resin now. So I mixed up the resin off camera, and the resin I'm using for this project is art resin. And I usually drizzle it over the glass first and then put it around the perimeter. And you can see on this one I forgot to put the tape, the painter's tape around the back. I really should have done that because there was one small little spot that had a leak on it. I mean, everything turned out okay, but it's in your best interest to put painter's tape on the back just to help prevent resin leaks. It's something I forget often. So after I put it around the side and smoothed it all out, I used the little kitchen torch to get rid of the bubbles, and I went through it with a toothpick. I think I found a hair in there, which isn't uncommon. And you can see I took the tree topper off to smooth out the resin, but I'll put that on last. And then these are some little tiny sparkly gold styrofoam balls that I put on there just to decorate the tree a little bit. And then it was done. This needs to sit on a flat level surface overnight. After 12 hours you can usually touch it. It takes a full 72 hours to cure, and it should sit at temperatures between 72 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And at the bottom for snow I put some tube confetti, white tube confetti that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. It's in your best interest to cover it with a dust cover. Hey everyone, here's the finished product. Turned out real cute. The like I said, this glass, you can either tumble it or you can use it just like that, but of course then it would be sharp. So, you know, it's up to you. And this tube confetti, I really like that, but of course you could use glitter. And this is at the Dollar Tree right now. They have it in these 3 colors, and they have it in these colors too, which are real pretty. I guess you could put that on the bottom also if you wanted to add more color to it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And I'm gonna be having more Christmas ones come out. I have the large Christmas tree, similar to this, but it's a lot fuller than this. Comes out tomorrow, and it's all glass on glass. And if you want to be notified of future videos, go ahead and subscribe. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.